Orang kulit putih, Amerika, Australia, Swedia, dan orang-orang Eropa lainnya itu sudah jarang masuk ke negara Malaysia karena hal ini guys. Itu yang saya dengar dan itu yang dikatakan oleh orang Filipina ini. Dan hal itu benar-benar masuk ke dalam hatinya dan membuat dia merasa sangat sedih dan menangis. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hari ini bertemu lagi bersama saya, kembali lagi bersama Indra SFN di sini, selalu menyapa Anda semua di sana. Semoga kita dalam keadaan baik-baik saja, sehat senantiasa, dan juga apapun yang kita kerjakan, segala bentuk aktivitas kegiatan kita diberikan kemudahan dan juga kelancaran oleh Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Amin amin ya robbal alamin. Guys, di sini ada kisah yang akan kita bahas, kita angkat pada video ini yang sangat menarik terkait tentang warga Filipina. Jadi orang Filipina ini guys, pernah 8 tahun bekerja di salah satu perusahaan migas atau minyak dan gas di negara Malaysia. Sudah 8 tahun ya guys ya, dia bekerja di Malaysia. Dan tentu ya ada banyak pengalaman asam, manis, pahit, semua sudah dia rasakan di negara itu guys. Bahkan dia sudah mendapatkan jodohnya di negara Malaysia, yaitu orang Filipina juga guys. So sebelum pandemik tiba, berangkatlah mereka pulang kampung ke negaranya, yaitu adalah Filipina, dan tidak balik-balik lagi ke Malaysia. Tapi di tahun 2024 dia merasa sangat rindu dengan kenangan-kenangan yang telah berlalu di negara Malaysia guys. Ada banyak kenangan, ada banyak teman-teman dan juga pergaulan dia rasakan, dan itu membuat dia menarik hatinya untuk balik lagi ke negara Malaysia. Lalu dia membeli tiket serta pulanglah lagi dia ke negara Malaysia di tahun 2024 ini. Dan apa yang terjadi guys? Sesaat sampai di negara Malaysia, dia begitu sangat kagum ya, begitu sangat shock dengan perubahan yang terjadi di negara Malaysia guys. Ada banyak sekali perubahan dalam beberapa tahun saja. Malaysia sudah begitu sangat-sangat maju di matanya. Tapi di balik kebahagiaan yang ia rasakan di Malaysia saat itu, ternyata terselip rasa kesedihan yang amat mendalam setelah dia melihat hal yang baru saja dia temukan di negara Malaysia. Dan dia sangat mengaku guys, hal yang dia temukan itu betul-betul membuat dia sedih. Jadi ceritanya guys, ada banyak kebahagiaan ia rasakan di Malaysia, tapi sedikit terselip rasa kesedihan di balik rasa kebahagiaan yang ia rasakan itu. Nah, di sini dia telah menelusuri, mencari tahu ya, berusaha terus untuk mencari informasi terkait hal yang ia lihat ini guys. Bahkan dia mencari informasinya kepada teman-teman lamanya dan juga restoran-restoran yang pernah dia masuki dulu. Kenapa ini bisa terjadi? Dan hal itu benar-benar masuk ke dalam hatinya dan membuat dia merasa sangat sedih dan menangis. Oke guys, di sini kita akan mencari tahu sebenarnya hal apakah yang membuat ia sedih di Malaysia. Dan setelah dia mencari tahu, dapatkah dia jawaban-jawaban atas pertanyaannya itu guys. Oke, sebelum kita mereaksi videonya, alangkah baiknya bagi Anda yang belum support channel ini, silahkan kalian dukung dengan mengklik tombol subscribe dan aktifkan notifikasi bell sebagai wujud dukungan terhadap channel ini agar kedepannya jauh lebih maju lagi. Oke, tanpa banyak basa-basi kita akan mereaksi video itu. Jom.
Have all the Filipinos gone? I was shocked. I've just come back from Malaysia after spending 8 days there. And it was the first thing I noticed. Lack of overseas Filipino workers. Couldn't believe it. So in this video, we're going to look at the things that have changed in Malaysia since the last time I was there, which was 5 years ago, just over. And yeah, we'll try and understand why. Let's get into the video. So if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I've been in KL. I was there for just over 8 days, I think. 8 days or 9 days, doesn't matter. Had a great time there. Did all the usual tourist spots, you know, Batu Caves with my monkey mates. That's always a good one. Climbing the 272 steps up to the top, which I managed to do. It was very hot as well. There was no shade, so you know you're going up, and you've got the sun beating down on you. and we did it. I think it was late morning, so it was hot. But yeah, it was worth a visit. I mean, I've been there before, but to see the place again, thanks, bro. Just getting a wee coffee here. So I got the bananas in one of the markets that I also made a video of, Tamantoon, Dr. Ismail market, where they have a lot of livestock and stuff. And yeah, it was good to visit there. I had never been there before. But most of the things I did, I've seen before, like, well, first of all, the physical changes. Let's talk about the physical changes in Malaysia, well, in KL. I did want to maybe go down to Malacca, but I never made it. I've been to Malacca before, so. But the physical changes, the obvious ones. First of all, you've got Merdeka Tower. And then the other obvious one that I could see was TRX, that's the Tun Razak Exchange. So that looks like it's finished. But when I was in a taxi going from the airport at KLIA to my hotel, the taxi driver said it wasn't finished. But I mean, it looks finished to me, unless maybe on the inside it's not finished, but that looks good. We did have a walk over there to TRX station, got on the wrong train and got lost. Ended up in KLCC, but that looks good. So you got Merdeka Tower, a TRX exchange. They are the obvious ones that I could see. Now there are some like smaller changes, like I noticed in Central Market, they've modernised it completely. They have like a big brand new supermarket with a restaurant inside it. So there are physical changes, but for me, the biggest shock, as I said, was lack of Filipinos, because when I was there just over 5 years ago, I left in the beginning of January 2019, and after spending a fantastic 8 years in Malaysia. And when I was there, the whole time I was there was lots of Filipinos there. That's where I met my wife. She's from Philippines, and you know, we got married in Malaysia. Our son was conceived in Malaysia. So, you know, it was a fantastic time. And the Filipinos were a great addition to the Malaysian workforce. So during my time there, the 8 days that I spent there, myself and my mate Andy, we actually went to Kotaraya and we had lunch in the Filipino restaurant.
Wait guys, kita pause sebentar. Ya, ternyata saya mendengarkan apa keluh kesahnya, yaitu salah satu di 5 tahun sebelumnya dia ada banyak berjumpa teman-temannya itu adalah orang Filipina ya. Karena di masa tahun 2018 ke bawah dia kata banyak sekali orang Filipina yang bekerja di Malaysia, bahkan dia menemukan jodohnya yaitu adalah orang Filipina juga ya. Itu di Malaysia guys. Dia juga menikah di Malaysia dan punya anak masih di Malaysia. Lalu sesaat setelah itu, setelah dia punya anak, baru dia pulang ke negaranya Filipina. Artinya bahwa dia katakan 2018 ke bawah itu banyak sekali orang Filipina yang bekerja di sana. Tapi ketika dia masuk sekarang, kenapa tidak ada satupun orang Filipina yang ia temukan ya guys ya? Ini fenomena apa yang terjadi? Kenapa orang Filipina itu tiba-tiba tidak ada lagi di sana? Dan rata-rata itu dia temukan, dia mencari tahu di tempat-tempat yang biasanya dia lihat, ya dia ngobrol dan juga dia bergaul dengan orang Filipina, itu sudah tidak ada lagi orang Filipina di sana guys. Oke, kita lanjutkan lagi. Apa yang terjadi di sana? Fenomena apa yang membuat orang Filipina itu sudah tidak dijumpai lagi di negara Malaysia? Oke, kita play.
And when we were in there, I was curious. So I spoke to one of the girls working there, and she said, you know, I asked her why there was hardly any Filipinos in KL, and she said it was because of the pandemic. So what happened was, during the pandemic, a lot of the Filipinos and Filipinas were repatriated back to the Philippines.
Oh,
And that must have been epic, because there was a lot in Malaysia or KL. And the only time I saw any Filipinos really was in Kota Raya.
Kota
So
Raya
it's
ya.
kind of a shame, because
Oke,
like, you
guys.
know, I've got fond memories
Baru
of
baru saya paham kejadiannya. Ternyata fenomena ini terjadi saat pandemik ya melanda dunia termasuk Malaysia di tahun 2019 hingga tahun 2022, katanya itu orang-orang Filipin dipulangkan ya, pekerja-pekerja Filipin di Malaysia itu dipulangkan ke negaranya. Oh, pantas saja dia tidak menemukan lagi orang-orang Filipin di tempat di mana biasanya dia bergaul ya guys, ya, termasuk di restoran dan dimanapun itu. Oke, kita saksikan lagi. Play.
my time there. I met a lot of Filipinas. During our time there, we made a lot of friends, and my wife, she had a lot of friends there. So it's a wee bit of a shame that it is what it is, you know, I guess. Other changes I've noticed, and my friend Andy mentioned this, you don't see so many white expats, be it Europeans, I say white, I'm not racist, Westerners, Europeans, Australians, Americans. It's completely changed. So I don't really know why that is. He thought that the Malaysian Tourist Board were maybe not doing enough. But since I came back, I've read up on what's been happening, and I did read that, I think it was in January this year, 2024, the Tourist Board of Malaysia have actually removed the fee for Chinese tourists. So the Chinese tourists can come in now on a 30-day visa waiver. So they get 30 days without paying. So they're trying to encourage tourism. That's one thing. The other thing is the MM2H programme. Now that's just been changed. So the rules for that are all different for 2024. Now I don't know if this is because they're trying to encourage expats to go back to Malaysia. I'm not sure why there's less European or Western expats in KL. I can't put my finger on it. One thing I would say is, I mean, when I was there, I worked in the oil and gas industry, and at that time it was booming. This is obviously long before COVID, and Malaysia were paying for experienced expats, experienced oil and gas professionals to come over to Malaysia and work. Well, I was already in Southeast Asia anyway. At that time I was in Indonesia. So I know for a fact that they are not paying the money in the oil and gas industry now. Not just Malaysia, worldwide. And it's just one of these things, times move on. You know, nowadays we've got people who are prepared to work for less. It's not like the old days. So with that in mind, that's another reason why there'll be probably less Westerners in Malaysia. The MM2H programme is now, what they've done is, it looks like they've made it easier to understand, but I don't know if it's easier to join, because I had a read up on it, and what they're saying now is, if you want to join the MM2H programme, you've got to put down a bond of 500,000 Malaysian ringgit. Well, that's £83,000 or 105,000 US. Now, how many people have got that kind of money sitting around? And that is only for, I think it's 5 years renewable.
What guys?
So
Kita
after
pause
5 years,
dulu.
you've got to
Oke, tadi saya mendengar ucapannya bahwa orang kulit putih, Amerika, Australia, Swedia, dan orang-orang Eropa lainnya itu sudah jarang masuk ke negara Malaysia karena hal ini guys. Itu yang saya dengar dan itu yang dikatakan oleh orang Filipina ini. Dia membicarakan terkait tentang harga dari pengalaman Mat Saleh itu saat bekerja di Malaysia. Pengalamannya itu sudah tak dihargai lagi. Maksudnya bukan tak dihargai guys ya, sudah tak dibayar lagi. Mungkin ada biaya pengalaman dari mereka yang jumlahnya sangat besar. Namun sekarang itu sudah tak dibayar lagi di Malaysia. Jadi orang-orang kulit putih itu tidak lagi mau atau Malaysia tidak lagi menarik bagi mereka untuk bekerja guys. Apakah hal ini ada kaitannya dengan transfer ilmu ya guys ya, atau transfer teknologi? Jadi dari orang bule itu masuk ke Malaysia, kemudian orang-orang pribumi Malaysia belajar dengan mereka, lalu sudah bisa mengoperasikan segala sesuatu yang ada di Malaysia dengan orang-orang pribumi yang ada di sana guys. Jadi tak perlu lagi orang kulit putih. Guys, silakan Anda komen aja di bawah karena saya selalu membutuhkan informasi yang menarik yang memang betul-betul lengkap dari Anda semua. Dan di sini dia juga mengatakan bahwa terkait tentang orang kulit putih ya, apabila ingin ikut program MMQH tadi guys ya, seperti itu ya guys ya, MMQH ya, seperti itu. Kalau saya salah silakan Anda benarkan aja. Dia mengatakan bahwa untuk masuk program itu ya, orang-orang luar negeri itu harus membayar 500.000 ringgit ya. Kalau saya pikir dan saya hitung-hitung, 500.000 ringgit itu kurang lebih 1,6 miliar rupiah, jumlah yang sangat fantastis guys. Entahlah kalau saya salah, silahkan Anda komen aja di bawah. Tapi setelah saya kalkulasikan, nilai itu sungguh sangat besar sekali guys ya. Hanya masuk ke Malaysia ikut program 5 tahun membayar 500.000 ringgit atau 1,6 miliar rupiah. Wow, per orang ya guys ya. Oke, kita lanjutkan lagi apa saja yang ia katakan di video ini guys. Play.
Yeah. Presumably you have to go through the medical and everything again. You also have to have health insurance. But I think they've relaxed the rules whereby previously you had to have a certain amount of income, like a pension every month. I'm not too sure, I just had a quick read at the website. So that's maybe another factor why maybe there's less Westerners. Don't get me wrong, I had a fantastic time there, and it's still a great place. You know, even more so now with the infrastructure. They're moving forward with the infrastructure at a huge rate of knots. But the loss of the OFWs is I would say detrimental to Malaysia, because I loved the diversity. You know, you had Indians, Bangladesh, Filipinos, Myanmar. And I can say when I was there, it's mostly Indians. Certainly the places I went to. But yeah, of course you're going to get some other nationalities, but not like it was before, pre-pandemic. So what does that mean for Malaysia? Well, I would say not a lot. You know, it's still a fantastic place to be. If you've got the money in and you are looking to retire somewhere, then it's a great place to retire. Absolutely no doubt about that. Price-wise, I would say in the 5 years plus that I've been gone, prices have gone up quite a bit. For example, I was paying for a bottle of wine I was paying over 200 ringgit, and that is way more than I paid before, probably almost double. So yeah, you know, things move on, prices go up, but I think the accommodation is still affordable. So with that in mind, guys, I think Malaysia is still a great place to retire or even to work. You know, if you can be lucky enough to get a job there, I would say go for it. If the money's right and you can make it work, definitely. I just felt a bit sad that you know, the OFWs were no longer there in force. Kind of sad. It was good to see all the old places. I visited my old apartment in near Chankat, And I met a couple of people that I knew from before. Obviously a lot has changed, but when it comes to people who are living there, but I did meet a few people, so that was good. Just a great place to be, and I hope that I'll be back there soon. You know, I wanted to get my wife to come over, my wife and son, but the wee man has school, so she didn't want to pull him out of school. And I thought about going to the Philippines when I was there, but I only had 8 days, and then I would have to stay overnight in Manila, fly the next day to Daraga, so it wasn't really feasible. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you.
Dan demikian tadi guys, video yang baru saja kita reaksi. Ada pertemuan, ada pula perpisahan. Tak selamanya kita menikmati pertemuan itu, perjumpaan itu. Kadang ada pula kita akan merasa sedih dengan perpisahan di akhirnya. Begitu juga dirasakan oleh orang asal Filipina ini guys. Saya nggak tahu dia asal Filipina atau bagaimana, atau keturunan, karena saya lihat mukanya memang mirip-mirip orang Eropa ya guys ya. Tapi dia mengaku sebagai orang Filipina. Tapi oke lah guys ya, karena tak semua orang Filipina tuh yang seperti kita, raut wajahnya kadang juga ada berbentuk orang Cina juga orang Eropa ya guys ya. Jadi memang dia sangat merasa kehilangan dengan apa yang dia rasakan sebelumnya. Dia merasa sedih ya, karena kenangan-kenangan itu kembali lagi ketika dia masuk ke negara Malaysia, ternyata ada banyak perubahan yang dia rasakan. Sisi positifnya adalah satu kemajuan yang sangat pesat dialami negara Malaysia dalam waktu hanya beberapa tahun saja. Ini yang dia katakan guys. Namun dibalik itu dia merasa sangat sedih dan tersentuh hatinya karena teman-teman lamanya orang-orang Filipina di sana memang sudah tak ada lagi guys ya, sudah tak bekerja lagi. Rupanya dia mencari dan mencari informasi kenapa itu bisa terjadi, ini fenomena seperti apa ya. Dia mendapatkan jawabannya secara nyata, yaitu adalah teman-temannya semua orang Filipina ternyata dipulangkan saat pandemi melanda ya guys ya. Jadi memang bukan hanya Filipina, setahu saya banyak orang pekerja-pekerja di Malaysia itu orang-orang asing tadi semua dipulangkan ya guys ya, karena pandemik itu ya sudah tidak ada lagi yang beroperasi. Jadi apalagi nak dibuat sana, dipulangkan saja ke negaranya masing-masing ya guys ya. Dan secara keseluruhan guys, secara keseluruhan, walaupun apapun yang ia katakan ya, termasuk tadi orang-orang putih, orang-orang kulit putih yang jarang ke Malaysia, ini versi dia guys, versi dia seperti itu. Walaupun secara nyata lewat video-video yang telah saya reaksi itu banyak, malahan makin banyak orang kulit putih yang masuk. Tapi oke lah, ini versi dia mengatakan bahwa orang kulit putih itu jarang masuk ke Malaysia karena apa yang dilakukannya, apa yang dikatakannya tadi guys ya, sudah saya bahas. Namun secara keseluruhan ya, Malaysia adalah tempat yang paling rekomendasi ya, yang direkomendasikan saat kita ingin memilih tempat liburan, terutama yang dompetnya itu atau yang keuangannya ekonomi kelas ke atas. Malaysia salah satu tempat idaman bagi orang tersebut guys. Silakan mencobanya. Malaysia tak kalah baik dengan liburan yang ada di Singapura dan juga Uni Emirat Arab. Oke, lagi semakin tadi video aku, semoga video ini bermanfaat bagi kita semua, dan aku mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan kata, kesalahan sikap pada Anda semua, mohon dimaafkan, dan aku akhirnya wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.